All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. This is your host, Deontay, here with my friends here, Jalen and Joshua, back with some more episodes about a few topics today.
What's
Topics
good,
up.
y'all?
Yeah, exactly.
Extreme team present. Don't y'all
Extreme,
forget that.
extreme teen. We got some topics for y'all today. We're gonna get into a few things. So a few of my topics, just so you guys know and are aware, we do keep those hyperlinks in the actual description so that you can click around. But today we're gonna be talking about the Xbox Series X and the PS5, and basically now that we have all the information, we're gonna just talk about it and give you some highlights about the systems, as well as we're gonna talk about the 3080 cards being out of stock and the bots getting them first. We talk about the pre-order situation for PlayStation and them actually having cross-gen support. Then we're going to also talk about the Call of Duty Alpha for Cold War, and then Mario Super Sunshine. I forget what the name of it. 3D All Stars. Is that what the name of it is for Nintendo? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, something like that. That's where they're gonna talk about that as well in their messaging and their weird situation going on with that game for some reason. But before we get started, let's break the ice here. How you guys doing today? Everybody good? Is it what's the temperature today?
Sure, it's cold with a slight chance of more coldness.
Okay. That's real. That's real.
Yeah. For me, it's straight. I'm just busy. I got a midterm assignment due tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I just gotta go work, but yeah, that's school stuff for the birds now. But y'all keep y'all
Yes.
head up as usual. Keep y'all heads up.
Next, y'all make sure y'all pray for me on the 28th. I got a huge exam, probably like 250 questions. So y'all keep me in y'all prayers. Um, I'll be on the next podcast if y'all pray for me.
Yeah, it's definitely getting rough out there. Uh, Good thing we are getting some traction, so that's good. The podcast is doing okay. So as long as that's all that matters. No, just play. But
Man, it be your own kind, man. You're supposed to be
uh,
one of the best for it.
no, I
Damn.
definitely wish you the best for you guys, and I'm definitely hoping that you ace that and everything good. Hopefully everything is the same. Everything is good. But let's go ahead and get to these topics. I kid. But first up, I wanted to talk about the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. So, um, I guess before I go into my takes, from the information y'all have seen, what's the temperature on this topic here? What are y'all thinking right now? What are you thinking about PlayStation's messaging and then Xbox if you have seen, and what have you seen? I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'll go first. Because I watched the PlayStation event. This what was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
Them just their final rollout before the system comes out. The event itself, I thought was like okay. It wasn't their best. They had like two big titles, but overall, it had painted their picture of what they're going to be doing in the fall. So they got Spider-Man Day One and Demon Souls, and those are really the draws for people. Um, for me, I thought it was okay. Both games look really good, but it's not enough for that $500 to be spent for me because I'm not interested in playing like the PS4 backwards compatible games right now because I played all of those. I played Bloodborne, you know, the Uncharted games, things like that. So those I don't need. So the only two games that would get my attention are Spider-Man and Demon Souls. But I think as the system's life goes on, it'll be a lot of really good exclusives. Obviously, they have God of War and Horizon, and more Final Fantasy coming next year, and they always have those exclusives. So I think I'm gonna have to get one at some point. I think I'm just gonna wait for those big titles that I'm looking forward to come out. So if God of War Horizon comes out sometime soon next year, then I might pick it up around that time. Otherwise, I think it's gonna be a pretty light holiday for games I'm really interested in on that front, other than Cyberpunk, because that's the biggest game that's coming out this year, I think. And I'm gonna play that on the Series X, just because I feel like it's gonna perform the best there. Xbox wise, they don't have any big hitters coming out this fall either, other than the system being powerful. So you might want to see those, cross platform, no, third party games look their best on the Series X, and then Game Pass. So they might have a lot of games that I didn't get a chance to touch on this year, like Dragon Quest 11 that comes out sometime soon on Game Pass, and I might as well just play it on there instead of spending $20-$30 to get the PS4 or Switch version. Um, so yeah, that's what it's looking like for me. Hopefully, when their pre-orders go up, I can get one. Otherwise, I'll be stuck with my current gen Xbox.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is definitely looking rough for the pre-order situation. But what about you, Jalen? What's your temperature on these two consoles as of now? If you've seen anything, or I guess has anything that you've heard of or really stood out to you at this point for either of these new generation of consoles, and like where they're, I guess, what they're offering at this point?
Man, you know I'm Square Enix, man. So you know I'm finna grab a PS5 for Final Fantasy 16. Not just playing. I don't know. Like I'm in school for the next 2 years or whatever. I ain't got that much time to play the game or whatever. I still got what I'm saying, other games and stuff that I was trying to get to or whatever. But I mean, I was like I was gonna use some of that student loan money to get a PS5 or an Xbox, but I'm just looking like, man, come on, dog, we got to be smart about this. So, I don't really know, man. Like Josh said, it ain't no heavy hitters coming out the gate, so I'm just like, do I really need one of these right now? Um, I can still play Overwatch, give them some of that ash work, and I mean, I can just play that. So that's kind of my standpoint. But as far as like the consoles themselves, like I feel like the PS5, I didn't really watch the like conference or the Xbox one either, or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like they both have the same thing. Like Josh was saying, though, it has more value to the cop of Xbox at this point because of the Game Pass and everything. I know the PS4. I mean, not the PS4, but the PS5. I think they was rolling out with like some of the like top selling games or whatever.
Yeah, they
And
were gonna
I
do
seen
the
like a list.
that
Yeah,
collection. Yeah,
yeah. So I think you automatically get those free with the PS5 if you cop one. I think.
you got to get
I,
PlayStation Plus, but yeah.
yeah. You got to be a subscriber. Yeah, but I feel like that has value if you want to play those games. If those games are gonna like tide you over. I don't know the release dates for any of these other like subsequent games and things like that. So, and then of course I know they got games that's like Avengers or like 2K or something that depending on whatever edition you get, you can play it on like the next gen console or whatever. I don't know how that works out into its entirety, but I feel like that's straight. But I mean, like Josh said, the Game Pass is there, um, and I just felt like the Xbox, you would. I think it's just really contingent upon what type of games you want to play and how much you want to play those games and stuff like that. Because I don't know if the PS5 is going to make those games permanently yours, or is it going to be something like a mediocre like Game Pass type thing where you only can play it for like a certain amount of time or something like that. But they got like a lot smaller of a collection than the actual Game Pass itself. So, and then as far as like which one I'm leaning towards, I know you said I could hit them with like a finesse or something and get like the Game Pass or whatever, but I mean, just for like the streamline purposes or whatever, I'd probably be more inclined for like a PlayStation just for like, what I'm saying, because all the stuff is on there. But at this point, I'm more or less like indifferent. Like I don't. I mean, they the same thing in my opinion. I know they got like the power and all that type of stuff, but like the Xbox supposed to be stronger and stuff. But I mean, that don't mean nothing, and that kind of lost its meaning to me back in the era with the 360 and the PS3 because the PS3 was stronger than the Xbox. But I mean, it's whatever the devs was trying to do. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. I think it's becoming more. I guess people are becoming more accustomed to the subscription service. So my take on it is this: I think Game Pass is going to be for the fit the bill for more people like you, Jalen, who don't necessarily game that often. Obviously, you used to game often, so you have a different type of take on things. You probably more so would want to. I'm not going to speak for you, but I think you probably are interested in specific games like Final Fantasy 16, like Bloodborne 2 or something like that. So you probably have more stake in the PlayStation Network. But people that are just casual gamers that don't really care about that type of stuff, they're more inclined to take a leap of faith with Xbox because they have the Games Pass subscription. And right now, Sony is obviously still toting that they have the better games, which they obviously do. But at some point, people are going to that they're going to see the significant benefit of having that Game Pass subscription, just like Netflix to cable. It's just the same type of deal where one just takes over, and you start to realize that this is more of a benefit. Even if most of the games you're probably not going to play, you're still going to get far more variety than you ever would by just paying $50, $60, $70 because they're $70 now per game for one type of experience. So
mm-hmm.
I think that
Yeah.
people are going to start to take that on. Not saying that the PlayStation 5 doesn't have a place for me. It definitely does, and it has a place for a lot of people. I just think because this subscription is going to be there, it's going to cause a lot of users that are on the PlayStation 5 to feel as if they need something that's kind of similar. And obviously, the PlayStation collection of 18 games that are PS4 games isn't going to cut it. So they need to do something that's going to actually allow a subscription type service. I do not think they're going to actually put in new games like the Microsoft Studios, where all their new games hit that as well same day. But they're going to have to do something that kind of caters to that subscription based service than what they're doing now, because if they don't, it's going to I feel as if it's going to shift the tide there, even though again PlayStation has more of the better games.
Yeah. They're always going to have the better titles or the more interesting first party games. Because, like, if they announce a Bloodborne 2 and it comes out sometime soon, of course, I'll go out and pick up a PS5 for that.
Yeah.
But with the price of games on the PS5 and, well, all systems, whatever, being $70, that makes me less likely to just go pick up, Assassin's Creed or whatever. And if that's something that might be interesting or something that we might want to play together, because we always just hop on Call of Duty, play for a little bit when they have a beta, and then maybe not buy the game or buy the game later down the line or whatever. But it's less likely going to be experimentation like that when games are $70 plus DLC and ultimate editions and all that stuff. So I'd rather wait for a lot of those games to just come to Game Pass, try it out, and then see if I like it or not.
Right, and then that's where they feed you the discount, and that's where they come into play in how to monetize Game Pass, because they're feeding you a discount at the end of it. Say, hey, it's leaving, but you can keep the party going. If you pay this amount, we give you a discount too. And that's how they feed the people that's going to get people to come over and actually, put games into Game Pass. So I see the end of the tunnel for them and how they monetize that and how they're going to monetize us being on their platform. Sony is in the behind on this right now, so I need them to showcase something that's going to really show me that they can also keep up as well as, afford it. Because right now it seems as if they can't. All they can do is double down on what they already been doing. And if, Microsoft starts to actually put out games that people enjoy, it's going to be really difficult for PlayStation to keep it up. I think that's what's going to cause a shift. And that's what I see here moving forward. Understanding that the PlayStation 5 may out the gate be the better and more enticing, product. But down the line, when you start to see that, like, oh man, this game coming here, and now I gotta pay $70 for it, and I can go to Game Pass and just play it for free. Or play it for $15 for the month. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of gonna be where it's hitting a lot of people's boxes that people that used to go and do GameFly, people that used to do Redbox, people that do rent games and then the resale. All of these people are going to be able to get fed from Game Pass. And if they're not on a Game Pass, you much rather buy into that ecosystem of Xbox because they also give you discounts, things like that. So it's kind of, even though PlayStation does give you discounts, it's just a more fluid experience on that side. And that's where I see is going to be the case moving forward.
Yeah, that makes sense. The whole Game Pass thing is, like I said, is definitely enticing. I think I feel like the biggest thing is, at least the people that I know, the people that I'm around and stuff like that. Game Pass would be, and it's not the point is totally valid. It's not to argue that the idea, because they usually sell Game Pass. I think they be having like get Game Pass $1 for a month or something for gold, or I don't know. But it's like the option to have more and be able to bounce around, like Josh said, when we all play our games together and stuff, without, put you in a situation where you cop, what I'm saying, you cop Rainbow Six or GTA and we ain't got it no more. Like, what I'm saying, that alleviates that issue. But I'm clearly, what I'm saying, the black people, they just trying to hop on 2K, like, so they gonna go cop their PS5 and they just gonna play 2K or Call of Duty.
Yeah, people
and they might play
one
something.
game a year.
Yeah, so it's like they not finna
experiment.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they just want the bare minimum. They just want the PS5 so they can like play with their friends and stuff like that. And I think that's the biggest thing. It depends on when I cop a next gen system and when y'all cop one. Or, what I'm saying, what systems y'all got at the time would determine, because clearly I want to play with y'all. And, what I'm saying, I personally don't care about Game Pass because I can have a bunch of games in front of me and I don't mean I want to play it. So like you mentioned before, I want to play,
specific games, yeah.
Yeah, specific games and stuff like that. And I ain't trying to wait for Game Pass to put it on. Not to say that I wouldn't go out and get Game Pass if I ain't go cop a next gen system. PlayStation ain't got no games that's hitting on, and y'all playing games on Game Pass and having a field day. Shoot, I go cop an Xbox too and go play Game Pass and stuff. But I will say I'm not trying to I don't really like banning subscriptions either. But that's just a personal opinion type thing. I just don't I don't like subscriptions and stuff like that. But the Game Pass overall, for people who want to have more options, more things to do from jump when the console and stuff come out, definitely the Game Pass would be the move to go. Is just, like Josh said, what type of games that PlayStation gonna have later on and stuff like that, and what Microsoft gonna do. Because if they releasing Recore and what I'm saying, that other whatever stuff they be coming out with, then I can't rock with them.
Can't bangs with it. No, I get it. And they have a uphill battle of trying to convince the public of their changed ways and whether or not they're actually going to bring legitimately good games. There's things that I'm interested in, but there's not much around that people, will get people excited, like Last of Us or a Ghost of Tsushima, even a Demon Soul. So there's a lot of stuff that they have to do in that department, but they have the money and they now have paid for the resources to kind of create that type of stuff. So hopefully it becomes, more of a thing, because if I start to get comfortable with, the subscription, because I am now in the realm of I'm very comfortable with the subscription services, and if I want to purchase something outright, I will do so. But most of the time, I'm purchasing something and then I am reselling it. I'm never holding on to anything because again, that's how I feed my budget for gaming. So if I'm most of the time spending, say for instance, I buy a game for now, it's going to be, 70, 77, 76.99 maybe, I think with tax. If I turn around and sell that back for 50 or so dollars, I'm still losing around 20 something. And again, you can do that on a, game to game basis, but most of the time I'm more in the camp of trying something different versus playing the same games. So I do enjoy the Game Pass subscription because that's how I do with my music. If I'm on Spotify and other artists are available or they get suggested and then I discover somebody I'm fine with because I have that ability because I'm not just listening to one tape and one album over and over and over again. Just like you're doing it with, television and Netflix and you're just not watching the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, I can watch Chappelle Show all the time. I own it, but I would much rather, have a variety of things to do. So I'm more comfortable with that, and that's why I feel like it's going to become a time where everything like that is going to be subscription based.
I just hate when they in that bank account when I ain't got the money. But like, man, so y'all telling me y'all can't just reverse it this one time?
Hey
Y'all
man, you
took
can
it
do
out early.
go month to month. It's
Nah, I already
what's
got
cool
subscription
about
coming
it.
out.
Yeah, what's good about it is that they're not, excessively
You don't lose
hiking the price.
anything if
There
you
it's
cancel it.
15 a month. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I was just saying like some subscriptions like you need it in order to access things like Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus. You need it to get online, whereas Game Pass, if it laps, like you still play your games.
Exactly. Well, and that's
Yeah,
the
the other games that you own. Yeah.
right, and they still giving you games for free and stuff like that. But it's cool that they didn't charge you significantly higher price than they normally do. It's kind of like they gave you the Game Pass, they gave you Ultimate, and it's kind of the bundle price. Is Game Pass is $9.99 a month, so it's not like you're being charged additional. But Ultimate gives you kind of way more than what you would get if you were to buy those two things separately, and that's what kind of makes up the difference there. But any last remarks in regards to the Sony PlayStation dilemma there before we
I
move
ain't got
on?
nothing to say.
All right. All right. Well, it's time to. I mean, this is kind of like right piggybacking off of what happened, and how Microsoft and Sony both have stated what they wanted to do. So, cross-gen support. It seems as if now the cat's out of the bag. PlayStation had to go out and state, "Hey, Horizon Forbidden West, and Spider-Man Miles Morales will be playable on all of those PS4s, all 110 million out there. So you don't have to buy a PS5 in order to move forward." And there was a huge debate when Microsoft did that it was going to hold back the consoles, the games weren't going to look good, all of this, hoopla and blah blah whatever. Sony did get some blowback because they were basically pretending like they were going to be doing something they weren't, and I guess it just seems very strange. It's not strange. It is the right thing to do because now you're not making people pay $500 in a pandemic just to play some games that they want to enjoy. You are allowing people to have a choice, which makes sense, and that's what Microsoft was doing in the first place. It's just funny how they have now been just so bad with their public relations, and in my opinion, and how they're kind of handling this, and even the exclusivity of their games and things like that. So, I mean, Josh, have you seen any of this stuff or seen any or read about it at all or seen anything about it?
Yeah, I mean, it started with Halo because Halo Infinite trailer came out and it didn't look really next gen, and people were complaining about it and saying that it's because it also has to be able to run on the old Xboxes, which might be true, but think what Sony has showed as well is all games that come out during this time are always going to be like cross gen, and they're not going to be looking like completely next gen, because the issue is always like the developers just got the dev kits, like they've been working on it for a short amount of time, and that's why launch games are always like, it's not a lot of launch games that come out when the system comes out because people are not ready. And so if you compare, the first year of the PS4 to the last year of the PS4, games are going to look completely different, look a lot better. So that is to be expected, but I don't think right now anybody has any proof that games are going to be held back, because I think both companies want to hold on to their entire fan base if they can. They want to keep selling PS4s. They want people to keep buying games on PS4, and they also want people to buy the PS5. And I think they'll keep supporting it as long as it is financially beneficial, because there's no reason to like get rid of all of that stuff if the games can still run. Whereas I think Microsoft has probably put in a lot more work to make sure that the system is viable long term, so that the games will scale up, whatever resolution wise, and still run, even if it doesn't have the same resolution as the other, as the Series X. Whereas the PS5, I don't think that all of their games are going to be cross gen, but I think they'll do as much as they can to keep it cross gen, which is not a bad thing. It's better for people in the long term, because if developers just can't make it look as good on one system, then it's not going to look as good. Like we already experienced that with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. Like you'll get one game and it runs terrible, and then you get it on a Pro and it runs how it's supposed to do. So I think really we got to see how it's implemented, but I think Microsoft might have be onto something with it.
Yeah. There's a lot of scalability in these systems. Anything have you seen or anything you saw on this Meta, Jalen?
Uh, I mean, a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. I ain't. It's just something that I like just scroll past. I ain't never really looked deep into it. I just felt
Okay.
like we'll just see what happens when they actually come out, what type of updates they're gonna apply. And I know like before with like Call of Duty and stuff like that. I think what was it? They didn't have Ground War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they didn't have Ground War in the current gen, but in the next gen they had it in there. I think that was on Call of Duty Ghost, I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I feel like it's like a catch-22. You don't want to like undersell something, or you don't want to undersell something, but I feel like they pitted, you know what I'm saying, between like a rock and a hard place. Like obviously you want to make your next gen console, you want it to be all the way up here and stuff, but you don't want to put the short end of the stick of, you know what I'm saying, with the current gen console and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, that's my take on it. I ain't really got much to say on it. Just
Yeah. Okay. Um. Now I know with the I know with cross gen there is a lot of um. Like I said, I think it's more so beneficial for the consumer. I also believe that it's very difficult for devs in order to connect, because they were honestly working on a PS4 version and then they received the dev kit for the new system. So it wasn't as if these games were ever being made for the PlayStation 5, because they're, as Josh stated, too far into their development to be built ground up for a new system. But the scalability of new things and all of this stuff, and how stuff is being scaled up, it makes it seem it's more inclined to be able to run these current and more recent games at 120 frames per second. So I was watching Digital Foundry and they were talking about Dirt 5, and Dirt 5 immediately when he got the dev kits for it was the tech director. I don't remember his name, but he was basically talking about Dirt 5 and how immediately when they plugged in a dev kit for Series X, they were able to hit 4K 100 frames per second without doing much optimization. So I'm assuming that most of these companies are starting to build their engines to scale accordingly. Obviously, that's been the case for the PC for quite some time, but I think now it's making it easier for these set companies to just uh, dial in at one place and dial in at here at another place, and because they have so many variations going out there, they got the base PS4, the PS4 Pro, and then they have the PS5, and then you're gonna have the Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Xbox Series S, and then you're gonna have the Xbox Series X. So you're gonna have all these variations out there of these games and consoles and stuff like that. So the most important thing for you to do now is always to have your games or your systems be, or your engines, I'm sorry, to be scalable. So I feel like the pressure of, the dev kits coming there later was a little bit alleviated. I mean, obviously, it's still more work because these are new consoles, but I feel like the way Microsoft is going with their systems, they're trying to continue the same architecture. They don't want to make it seem as if it's more problematic than it is before. And they already have stated that the Series S could do native 4K, but they target 1440p because they want this system to be able to run games well at 120 frames per second. So I feel as if you're right when you say, Josh, that Microsoft may have a better take on it than the PlayStation, because I don't believe the PS4 and the Pro, PS4 Pro, and then the PS5 may have that same scalability. I'm hoping they do. I know that they have great engineers over there, but I'm not sure about how that architecture and everything looks, because I don't understand how they, going into the next generation, don't have 100% backwards compatibility on their games. Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
at this point, like, that should have been their goal, to make things as a continuous platform, because obviously before the PS4 came out, like, they had to tell people, like, you won't be able to bring over your stuff because the architecture between the PS3 and PS4 is too different, and they apologize and blah 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 to try to make it better. But since that experience, they should have put a lot of effort into making sure that going forward you can have this continuous library that grows, and also you have compatibility between the two. It should just be I mean, obviously it's not that simple, but as simple as press the button and your PS4 game works on PS5. And if you have that structure that works like that, then it's a much easier to have a structure where everything runs on the PS4. We know what is required, so we can downscale it by 50% to be able to run okay on the previous system. And I think Microsoft actually built the entire architecture of the Xbox One and the Series S to work like that. I think with the One X right now, like, you just put most games in and they run obviously much better just putting it in the disc. And that's just because the system takes it multiplies whatever it has to do for it to run well. And they also made sure that it will do the same thing in reverse for the next system.
exactly.
Obviously, of course, we got to see implementation, but if they got this right, then there actually is not a reason that you have to get the most powerful system, because you'll still be supported for the next couple years. And if there's something that you want to improve, like you get a new TV and the old system's not working out for you anymore, you want something to look better, then you can just upgrade to the new system. But I think most people aren't gonna. I think so. A lot of people don't have 4K TVs, so it won't even matter that it runs at a lower resolution.
Yeah, I think that that was a lot of the point of the interview, and they were talking about, there was some talking points about 1440p being most people out there have 1080p screens. They don't even have 4K televisions, and taking advantage of that stuff. So, and it's interesting because that is a pretty decent console for the amount of money that you're paying for it. So yeah, I like I said, I'm intrigued with the Series S. I really would like to just have one for the living room, but I don't want to. That's a lot of money, so I don't want to do that. But I definitely intrigued by the Series S as well. It would be something I would want to take a look at and play around with. But the pre-order garbage. Just moving into the next thing, the pre-order garbage for the PlayStation 5, man. Oh my God. I made a few videos on this, and I've gotten people reaching out to me and asking like how can they get one, and you can't. If you didn't get it the first time, you just at this point it seems as if you can't. They're coming around with more pre-orders for the PlayStation 5 and the digital edition, but right now it's really just completely out of stock everywhere. A lot of people didn't get the invite to buy it, and that didn't even give you a guarantee. You had to hurry up and get in line in order for you to put it in the cart and check out. But really, I believe we're seeing the demand of, again, 4 generations of gamers. We have the big boom, the beginning of gamers, those gamers that's still playing. We have the generation of Nintendo 64, basically us. Then we have the Xbox 360 individuals. Well, I wouldn't say I think we was more so 360, but it was kind of like we were both, but we wasn't really playing games to play games on the 64. Maybe you guys were, but I definitely weren't. I was just more so watching other people play mostly. PlayStation 2 is when I really got into gaming and stuff like that with the PlayStation, but it was not more so me consciously knowing what I was doing. It was consciously knowing what I was doing around the PS2 time. And then we have the 360 people, along with the Xbox One. So I feel like people are underestimating the demand of these consoles, and they don't realize it's not just bots that's taking all these things. It's actually just a high demand console because now we have way more eyes on the console of gaming. Obviously the pandemic is not helping, but there is a lot of people looking to play these new consoles, and it's not just the grown folks. It's young people that play Fortnite. They want to play it too. So I mean they want one. So I'm seeing a lot of it's no time to waste. Basically, if you have a job and if you actually have stuff to do and you tried to get it, you did not get it. I was able to secure one because of Twitter and just jumping around from site to site. But if you actually wanted one, it was really difficult to get one if you weren't in the know. And that was because these retailers decided to launch early. They launched the pre-orders the day before. As soon as the pre-orders as soon as the conference ended, they shot the pre-orders up around 2 hours later. Only reason I knew is because Jeff Knightley, the guy that does the Game Awards, he tweeted that not Sony, not PlayStation. PlayStation said tomorrow. Jeff, he said, y'all better get ready. So I started going on these sites.
Tomorrow, he had to get information from them that said tomorrow, and then he said,
right,
Sony had no PR about the pre-orders. They didn't say when it was, and we heard by secondhand that I was just talking to Sony. It starts tomorrow, but some retailers gonna do it tonight.
Exactly. So that's how I was able to secure one. I sent people links, but they didn't get on it fast enough, and obviously they were all sold out at the point when they tried to. But I think it's a lot of combinations of scarcity of the console. I think it's a lot of people.
Who you sent links to?
I sent links to Sean, Desmond, DeQuacy.
Man, where my link at? I ain't get one.
You said you didn't want a PlayStation. You told me
That don't mean I ain't want a link.
Oh my God, leave me alone.
If I might have wanted one, and I could have changed my mind and put in a cart or something.
I sent you the thing. I said Target got them. I said Target's PS5 orders are up. I sent that in the chat. I did.
But is that a link?
No,
or is that a
it's
message?
not a link. It's
all right then. See, it be your own kind. You don't care about my dad. You don't care about.
Dude.
giving links. I'll be
They
like,
need more
dang.
assistance. They really be needing more assistance. Y'all can like navigate to it, but they really just need the whole thing. You need to like give them to them in full, or they not gonna figure it out, or they like whatever. I couldn't find it.
I'm
So
gonna
I
be on the
sent them the
wrong
link.
Target site, and instead of taking 500, they're gonna take out 700, and then I'm gonna not have a PS4 and be $700 less dollars.
Anyway. Anyway, he's not even gonna take up grievances. But
Nah, I'm just trying to get people insight on how you really is. Yeah,
yeah,
continue.
yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it's out of stock everywhere. It's Walmart had another drop at 9 p.m. on the day after, and they sold out instantly. A lot of people were still frustrated they couldn't get one. So as of now, it's going to be a really difficult situation. So obviously, I'm going to be really prepared to try to get the Series X because now people know exactly when they're going to drop. I'm not sure if the demand is as high, but I don't trust the world. I don't trust that people. I don't want to underestimate, and then get messed up because I didn't try to get on it soon enough. So I feel like all of these consoles are in high demand because people are wanting to game at high. They want that type of experience, and I think people are. It's a lot more people searching for these consoles than it used to be. It's a lot more eyes on the gaming community than it used to be.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the memes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think well, hopefully the Xbox doesn't sell out like that, but it goes up. Microsoft said it's supposed to go up at 8 p.m. Pacific on the 22nd.
Right.
So we'll see, but I would say definitely be ready way before then. Like have your card and shipping information are all set on
Right.
whatever
That's how I was
website you're
able to
gonna
get
be on.
targets because they were gone in a minute. I I got a Target account and I was like, okay, I could just sign in real quick and I was able to finish it up like super fast.
Yeah.
So I was able to check out and it was like it wasn't gone because I was still seeing it. I was refreshing my page, and but like for about like 7 minutes or 8 minutes later, they were gone. But nobody knew about Target. Nobody knew it went live. I just was checking links and I was like, "Oh, it's live." And then that's when I started. But I just feel like it's going to be worse now. Now people know when it's going to start. And again, PlayStation 5 may have more of a cult following. It's kind of like Apple at this point. If you got a Xbox, they like, "Why you got an Xbox? You should just get a PlayStation." And it's just like, "Oh my god." But it's a different demand, but I still think the demand is going to be there. But moving on, just for the sake of time, there is next thing I wanted to talk about was the Call of Duty Alpha Cold War that was announced, and we played it this weekend. And well, I guess I started off this time, and then you guys can give me your guys' opinion there. But I enjoyed the Call of Duty. I actually played it again this morning, just so because I wanted to, get those last couple of games in. I still enjoyed it. It was a new map I was playing on. I think it was a Miami map or whatever, but it was a different map than we played together, and I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the gameplay. I still enjoyed the customization. I feel like obviously they're gonna make you work for all that attachments and things like that. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure everything's not gonna be unlocked when you first boot it up, but overall the weapon, I don't even know the name anymore, but my favorite weapon that used to be in Call of Duty, the FAL, and it was the whatever, the 3 round burst. That weapon was back and
M16,
it was hitting hard. Yeah,
Type 95,
yeah,
a
yeah,
month.
yeah. There it is. There it is. Type 95. My favorite weapon. So it was hitting hard.
Trash.
It felt like it was before, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the gameplay. I enjoyed the score streak system. I'm not sure if it can be abused because it did seem as if it was pretty easy to get what you needed. But I was having like 40 eliminations. it was good times in a Call of Duty game. It's been a minute since I enjoyed a Call of Duty game like that because it's a lot of extra stuff. It seemed like it was a lot was dialed back, but a lot was also reeled in a lot more, where you had more movement. I felt like the slide felt a lot better than in Modern Warfare. The animations were pretty much the same. It just felt a little bit smoother in regards to moving around the map. It didn't seem as if it was so clunky. I think because they did take out that secondary speed, or if it didn't feel like I was going to get run around a corner and get clapped because I was always ready. So it slowed down the movement, but it also sped it up. And then it also had a pretty decent. I wouldn't say the maps were great. I would say that the maps were more readable. They felt like they were 3-lane maps more. I would say you had more sections where I understood where people were probably going to spawn or people were going to be more often than not than I did in Warzone. I mean, in Modern Warfare. They felt as if they were very similar in styling and it was able to be read easily. So definitely was able to figure out, which may be a bad thing, the spawn points pretty quickly, but that was my experience, I suppose, with Cold War.
Yeah, you can take it, Jayla.
Uh, Man, I'm still mad about them links I ain't get. Not just playing, but I mean, it was straight. I mean, I felt like all Call of Duties beta. Well, this was an alpha, I guess technically, but um, just say demos or whatever. I felt like I always enjoy them to some capacity. I think the one I didn't enjoy was probably was like Black Ops 3. I remember finding enjoyment in Black Ops 4, but it seemed like it was straight, like the gunplay, um, like the time to kill. You know what I'm saying? How many bullets they take. I feel like it was kind of reminiscent of like Black Ops 1 to some capacity. I think the biggest thing I don't like about the game is how long they be taking to throw some doggone grenades, man. I'd be like, bro, the grenade would have already blew up in your pocket by now, bro. Quit playing with me. So, they take forever to throw grenades and stuff. I feel like the game is pretty smooth overall. I feel like we talked about it last night. It's closer to like that arcade style of, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got the doors in Modern Warfare. I did like the little like second level sprint that you can do in Modern Warfare. But I didn't like the doors and all the intricacies of the map, and I felt like that kind of convoluted things, and it just like changed routes and things like that. It just made things a lot more complex for no reason, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and then people be closing doors when you shooting at them and stuff like that. I'm like, where's you know what I'm saying? How real is that? But yeah, so I did like this one more than Modern Warfare as far as like the little alpha goes. Um, Still trying to understand how they do like the score streaks and stuff. I didn't spend that much time to really figure it out. It looked like your score streaks come faster based on when you're actually on a kill streak versus, you get a kill, die, get 2 kills, die, and stuff like that. So, um, and then I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was pretty smooth for the most part. Like I said, I didn't spend that much time on it, but I found a little bit more enjoyment in that one than I did Modern Warfare, and I think that's mainly for the sole fact of you don't got like the doors and all that type of stuff. And then the other thing is the little war or like ground war type of thing. They
Hmm.
just need to get that up, man. That junk done. Like I'm gonna
I
keep it
liked
100,
the
bro.
boat map.
Man, bro, people weren't even capturing the points. They
Man,
was literally sitting
well,
there sniping. I'm like, all y'all care about is E. They just they just dumping on us from afar, bro. I'm like, dude, let me go for a swim real quick. Like
yeah,
that
that's
was
the
dumb.
scalpers, bro. That's
The
the annoying people in the game.
and you can't get rid of annoying people. They finna be in that mud. They finna be in there like swimwear. Like so, I'm over here, you know what I'm saying, driving boats and stuff, trying to capture the points. It was just, I just hate when I be playing a match for 5 to 10 minutes and I end the game with 8 kills and 6 deaths. Like you just be like, bro. I mean, it feel like you need to have like more versatility in your arsenal to like, you know what I'm saying, effectively fight. And then don't get me started on the snow level. I'm driving this tank's driving
Snowmobile.
by, bro. I'm on the snowmobile, like, hey, hold on, tank. I'm finna go kill your boy. You finna just chill right here though? All right, bet. Like you drive over to the dude and I hop off to go shoot. Like it's just goofy. It's just too chaotic and it's just like you don't feel like a it's too much going on and you like a small piece and it put me to sleep. There we go. It put me to sleep. I
Hey,
get
oh,
sleepy when I do.
wow,
I was getting sleepy when we was playing.
wow.
I'm like, man, we can't cut this mug off about now. Like,
Yeah, I was
I
ready
don't
to
even
cut that
care
one
about
off.
playing.
Wow.
That
I'm
map.
Okay.
like, it ain't intense, bro. You ain't doing nothing. You just looking like, yeah, I'm finna go kill this dude over here. He won a 36, but I mean, it might make a difference, but then you just got one dude sitting in his own B the whole time just camping. Like, you just like, bro. I mean, you finna just sit here the whole game. Like, I don't know, man. That they just need to cut all that out. That this is not Battlefield, bro.
Yeah, I would say that the maps are probably the weakest part of what the game had. Because the guns were fine, the gameplay was fine. It was more arcadey, like we said. Because Modern Warfare went for more like a simulation of like real life. So you can lean and open doors and peek inside and all this type of stuff to make it give you more like incremental things that you can do to get that like 1 second edge over somebody. But this game, it's you run around a corner, you see somebody, you shoot, and whoever hit the most bullets is gonna win. And it makes the time to kill feel very fast, especially like if somebody come up behind you, like you don't have a lot of time to turn around and shoot at them because they already got you. Whereas like Modern Warfare, yeah, you might still die quickly, but there are a lot more barriers that you can put between somebody hide behind the door and stuff like that. But it's I think it's good that they're going for more arcadey feeling because that makes people want to just pick it up, play a couple matches and get off because it's quicker. Um, but the maps, not all the maps that we played, some of the like the Moscow map and stuff, though they were pretty small. Because I watched their like interview thing about how they designed the maps, and they were saying
Mhm.
that they want to bring back 3 lane maps, like I think of like Modern Warfare 2, like Terminal or High Rise, where there are three parts in the map, and people would pick that lane and go fight in, and those maps felt okay. But the bigger maps that we played on, like the boat and the snow level, I didn't feel like they had 3 lanes. I felt like it was just a big open area, and that is not. I feel like it doesn't fit the gameplay that they're designing. Like they want an arcadey game, but you have these big battlefield maps. Battlefield is not an arcadey game. Like it's more um, slower
Tactical.
paced. Yeah, tactical because like when we played the snow level, it's a big ass map with 2 tanks and people all the way on the other side of the map sitting in a doorway or sitting in a small window sniping. And it's like I can run and try to run all the way around the map and get to them, but they got big open lanes where they can see everybody while they're sniping, and it's kind of stupid to give a sniper that much like visibility unless you're like in Modern Warfare where we're playing the Warzone because it's a battle royale, and even still, they can't see the entire map. Like there are buildings and things blocking their way. Whereas that map, they felt like, why is it so open? The boat map was fine. I feel like it's unbalanced when it comes to the objectives because people playing the objective are always going to win because half the people are going to be sitting back sniping on one boat while everybody else actually playing the game. And I feel like I don't know. It feels like 2 different ideas being put together. Like you want
Man, they
Call of Duty
dumb.
gameplay, what Battlefield maps.
Oh man, y'all! Ooh, I didn't know it was that bad for
Man, you
y'all.
you talking to the Call of Duty people that we we used to be on Modern Warfare and the original Black Ops like all the time.
Yeah, man, it's like this what we want to call, like they did a good job making it more arcadey because I feel like that is better. because it's just point and shoot. Like, you know what I'm saying? You trying to run, drop shot, point and shoot. You know what I'm saying? You trying to do all the 9 yards or whatever you want to call it. But having tanks and bro, I'm gonna tell you my mind, like the insight, bro. I'm gonna give you some insight. When them dudes is shooting across the map, I'm just looking like I'm not finna run over there and try to stop you from sniping me. I'm gonna just go do something else,
Yeah,
and you
I'm
can
gonna
just
stay
wait
on
for.
this other side of the map, mind my business. 'Cause that whole other side is just a death trap. Ain't no reason to ever go there.
And then when I kill you, you gonna spawn right back over there, and it's gonna take you 5 seconds to get right back to that window where it took me 2 whole minutes to
Yeah,
avoid all the dangers, the bouncing betties, the tanks, the people on the snowmobiles, the Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me forever to get across there. You finna just snipe me real quick, bro? I'm like, bro, actually, good day. You can stay over there, bro. I'm gonna just go sit in this building and just shoot anybody who want to walk in here, but they probably not because half y'all team sniping. So, and the other couple driving tanks and snowmobiles. So I'm gonna just sit here. Then you got like 2 people hiding behind trees and stuff, thinking they invisible, but I don't know. I rest my case though. They just need to get rid of them out. Just purge them.
Obviously, you guys are a lot more passionate about it. I thought it was good. I didn't like the snow. No, the snow was terrible because it was too big. But I thought the boat one had more lanes and more,
it
more of a feeling of 3 lanes. I had the right hand side, the middle, and then the left hand side. And either way, I could avoid the sniping team if I went the other 2 ways. Even if I got in the water and swam, it was easier to
Bro,
avoid
yeah,
the
it
situations.
still wasn't 3 lanes. It was more like 9 lanes plus the ocean because the boats had 3 lanes. Like you're on the right side boat, and it has 3 lanes because you go through the ship. But then there's the other boat in the middle, and then the one on the left. And I feel like it was even 2 smaller boats out in the that half sunk or whatever, plus the entire ocean. So that's like half the map that people probably are not using because they're somewhere else. And I feel like if they're not using it, why put it in the map? You know, if it was one big ship, like was it not shipment? What was the map from Modern Warfare One, Jalen?
uh,
The the boat, whatever. It was the
wet work or no, that's not wet work. Dang it, what is that? Is it shit? No, it's not shipment. It's not wet work. Uh, is it wet work? I feel like wet work was like a actual like a factory type level. I don't remember.
it
I
might
gotta
be
look
whatever.
this up.
Anyways, yeah, because we played the Modern Warfare remaster a couple years ago, and it was the ship level. When it's just like this, it's just one big ship, but it had 3 lanes, and you can have somebody in the back sniping on both sides, but it's still a 3 lane map where people are rushing towards the middle. Whereas
Wet work.
this, it's 3 maps in one with as much size as it is, and I feel like it's not. It doesn't really make sense. I'm not. I'm never getting in the water to sit there because like people can see you from far away. You ain't got no cover. Yeah, you can go under the water, but it still shows your health bar when you're in the water, so it's kind of pointless. And
And
then ain't no point of jumping ship to ship because that just leaves you as a target. Because when you're ziplining, like you can't, like can you shoot? I don't even remember, but it moves so fast that you can't really accurately shoot at people, but they can see you coming. So it's just like it encourages people to stay in one area of the map and just shoot at people trying to get across.
I don't know. I
yeah,
didn't feel that way. I
Yeah,
felt
I didn't
myself.
die on the zip line, but the snipers that were
Yeah.
sitting on the other side, if you peeked
on
your
E.
head out, if you peeked your head out, they could see you like cuz they're in the ship like deck or they're in the captain's quarters or whatever, and they can see everybody looking at them, but you can barely see them with your M16 or whatever.
Right.
Hey, I
It.
I drew the line when I'm over here. They keep saying you losing C. I'm like, bro, what is going on? I look. I peep down there. Buddy's swimming around the boat. I'm just looking right, man. This you got. I'm like, cats over here capturing points by swimming in water and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I ain't playing this no more, dog. Like, cut this off, G. I'm like, he ain't, I'm like, just cut this off, bro. I'm over here searching for dog, and I'm like, I don't see. It just say point contested. I'm like, bro, it ain't nobody on this mug, dude. Buddy swimming around the thing, he just swimming, bro. Like, yeah, I'm just doing my laps, bro. Triathlete right here.
Well, you guys obviously that
I
you
mean,
didn't have it as much enjoyment, and
it
I
wasn't
think
terrible, but that's not gonna be it. If I bought the game, I'm not playing that mode. So it
I delete
might as
that
well
part of
not.
the game if I could.
Yeah, it might as well not even exist because I'm not gonna play that mode or that map.
well, it got zombies in the story mode. I wanted to play. I didn't want to. I'm not gonna buy it for $70. No, but I did want to. It seemed interesting enough. I'm just not because now that they $70 and I don't really see the need to buy a game that I'm not going to necessarily play often. Because $70 has changed my mind on a lot of things, but that's one of them. So I'm more not inclined to try games now because I'm just not going to spend more than it was already more than half, and now it's 70%. It's 70 out of 100, $70 per game. Come on, bro. That's crazy. I can't do it. But I digress. I enjoyed the camp. I enjoyed the actual gameplay. I enjoyed the maps. I didn't enjoy the snow map. I enjoyed the boat map because it felt like I was actually doing something. Even if I didn't have necessarily multiple kills, I was actually going around capturing points. And I didn't feel like I was being constrained by, people sniping because I was able to dodge and move around them and go through the zip lines and rappel up and stuff like that. It felt like it was a lot more movement than a normal like Battlefield game and even Warzone. So I enjoyed that map, but obviously they got other opinions, which is totally fine. I
Yeah,
did like that map.
it wasn't terrible. It's just it's not what I'm looking for. But I'm not in the Call of Duty crowd anymore because like even if it's just a good point and shoot arcade game, like I've played enough Call of Duty, so
Yeah,
I don't gotta buy a new one.
yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, Call of Duty it's definitely acquired taste. Like I said, I don't like Call of Duty, but I liked that one because it reminded me of all of the older ones.
Man, it sounds like
But
you just want to play Battlefield.
Battlefield, no, Battlefield is it's
It's
more
the,
of a
it's
yeah,
exactly that. I mean,
no,
maybe
but
not the new ones, but
I
like
don't.
3 and 4.
I had more enjoyment playing the team deathmatch and hardpoint on the regular maps versus on the boat map. I just said I liked the boat map. I'm not saying that I had a problem with it. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't. I wouldn't play that mode, for hours on end. I would definitely play the regular mode more, but it would be something I wouldn't be opposed to playing if I had a team. But moving forward, due to sake of time as well, I did want to also talk about the 3080 cards and the whole problem around that as well. Yeah, man, it sucked. And that's pretty much all I got because it really just
Did you
sucked.
ever
The bots were, huh? Say that again?
Did you ever get one?
No, I didn't
Mm.
get one. I tried for multiple hours. It was a terrible experience. Basically, this was a incident. The perfect storm. It was a situation where obviously NVIDIA has a problem with having a decent amount of stock of their cards, and then it also not knowing that we're in a world of a pandemic. People are at home trying to make ends meet, and they're probably doing shady things. So they buy a bot that goes in, buys up all the cards before any real customers can get to it, and they throw it up on eBay. So there's a lot of blowback about the eBay situation where people are just going in on Nvidia, going in on Newegg, but Newegg obviously I cannot blame them for anything. They had human checks, and it seemed as if they had human checks the entire time because at least I saw the add to cart button. And I got to that point, and then it kicked me because obviously the server was overwhelmed, and they couldn't get people in and out fast enough. So there was a problem there. But honestly, I think it's a lot of this not knowing what the temperature is about these cards and not knowing like I said, how much gaming is in demand right now. It's like people just I don't know when they're gonna realize it, but this is like the pinnacle of video gaming. It's like so many people are just paying attention. There's so many new PC gamers. There's so many people that's trying to upgrade from their old 1080 Ti's. It's a market that is not. It's not like it's small, but I mean they treat it like it is. I mean NVIDIA, a company all about bleeding edge technology, doesn't have human checks in place. Like, come on, bro. Y'all gotta do better. So I just really hope that they do better at some point in their career. Hopefully next time when the 3090 launches and the 3070 launches, these two new, the 3070 being especially, hopefully they have a lot in stock. Hopefully they have human checks in place. Hopefully we don't have to deal with this situation again, because as of now, there is like really difficult to find any person with an actual Founders Edition NVIDIA card for the 3080. It's a lot of aftermarket, and those are extremely hard to come by. I have somebody here in my area selling one right now that they probably got from Best Buy for $1,500, and it only costs $700. So it is exactly what I hoped it wouldn't be, but hopefully it doesn't happen with the Microsoft, because they said that because they knew the time and the date of when it was going to start, they was able to get their bots ready, and because the PlayStation just randomly dropped, it was a lot more easier for real people to get pre-orders. I hope that's not the case for Series X, but I know the demand is there, so hopefully it's not the case, but we will see. I'm more than likely going to be using sites that I feel like do the most to let you check out, like Target, and Best Buy just crashes. Their servers are trash, but I think Target has the most security when it comes to preventing bots from trying to pre-order things. So I may be getting mine from Target, or I try to get it directly from, because I want to get it from Best Buy because I can then go pick it up, but you know how that goes. Hopefully Target has the ability to pick up in store on day of launch.
Bro, you saying bots? You talking about like
the reasons that they put the captures so that the bot
yeah, these bots come out here. You know how you do. You know about sneaker launches, right? And how they scalp those, where they buy all the shoes and then they resell them to you for higher prices. Same thing they did.
I know they had bots doing that even with kicks. The recapture, boy, I can't figure out a recapture myself. They be like, it'd be that corner that they like pick all the stoplights. Man, that corner, that stoplight being that other tower, but man, I don't know if they gonna count this or not, man.
Yeah, but it's extremely trash, and that's what kind of happened there. But moving forward with our final topic,
I would say that I was thinking about getting the Series X from either Microsoft, because there's a Microsoft store not too far from here, or like you said, Target. It's not a Target nearby me, but I might have to make the trip to like pick it up. But yeah, Microsoft, I would say hopefully their website doesn't crash, because the website itself is not that stable, but it won't let you it does have a lot of checks in place to make sure that people are not putting in an order that's going to get canceled later and stuff like that.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Bots, boy.
Bots. Come on.
They just had them on RuneScape
for the win. Yeah, they definitely came through for the win on the 3080s. It was ridiculous. But lastly, we wanted to talk about was this Mario. I don't know what's going on with Nintendo. They just do what they want. But the 3D All Stars, where it comes with Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and Nintendo, Mario 64? All those games, they recently did it recently. It's already out, right? You can buy it right now and get it.
It came out this weekend
on the 18th. Okay. I'm copping it right now as we speak.
Yeah, so as of now, Nintendo has put that game out, but they have basically stated that you're only going to be able to buy it digitally until March of 2020, and then there's a very limited supply of the physical one. I just don't. I'm trying to figure out what's the reasoning behind Nintendo doing anything Nintendo, but obviously that'd be a long situation. So, it, what do you guys think? What would cause them to want to do it March 2020? Of like limit the amount of times people can actually purchase a digital game to March of 2020.
Crazy. Nintendo, they premium products. They don't want it mass produced. I don't know. You can't put nothing past them. I don't know why they even want to do that. I feel like it's just putting limitations on. Uh, I mean profit, but I don't. Honestly, I don't know. I couldn't. Even, I didn't. When you had first said that, I was just like, I don't understand what would be the reason for doing something like that. I never heard of like that, anything like that. Maybe if it's like a little, like uh if it's like some type of limited edition type, you know what I'm saying? And they like, I don't know. I don't see the point of them doing that.
Yeah, me neither. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's weird because they announced it, but if they didn't announce it, it wouldn't be as weird because obviously it's because it's a bundle and they want to sell those games separately, and that bundle is going to be available in uh, March. Then after that, they're going to sell them all separately for whatever price so that they can get more money. So it's just a limited edition, but it's also available digital for some reason. Because if they just wanted to do like a limited print and like they used to do, then that's what they'll do. Um, I I don't care because I'm not gonna buy those games because I feel like it's not really a good like ports because they're not even really the best versions of the games.
mm,
Um, but otherwise, yeah, they just want to have a way to resell it because if you want the All Star bundle, this is probably the best time to buy it, and then when they come out later, they're gonna be more expensive.
Nah, that's not.
mm.
You must have called up the president of Nintendo. You went to that back office, man. They told you that's what was going on in the back office.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Because they not if they go unlimited, then they're not gonna re-release it again in 2 years. They're just gonna release the games for individual sale.
30 apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. I thought it was going to be more of the lines of they trying to get a profit of a certain amount before the physical year of March, but that makes sense too. It's kind of like,
Maybe, but I feel like they don't have to do that for Mario because
yeah,
Mario's like their best-selling thing. Even the like New Super Mario Bros. For a while was like the best-selling game ever because just everybody bought it.
yeah. I was just confused by it. So, I mean, no, that makes a lot more sense that they're probably going to debundle it, and they're going to have it where they sold separately on the store, and they're probably going to be around $20 a pop. So that makes more sense to me. It's still Nintendo being Nintendo. I mean, it's like I don't really get you, but whatever. Do what you got to do. Um, get your coins. Get your coins, bro.
Man, they all about the coins.
They all about the coins. That's why they made their mascot all
They
about the
trying to get that
coins.
extra life.
All about them
Premium
coins, boy.
product.
It was like, why is he collecting coins? He's a plumber. Get them coins, bro. It was like,
Yeah,
it was
plumbers be charging.
they said, yeah, baby. You know they be taxing. So we know we trying to get to them coins, bro. That's
And
all you need to know.
plumbers be yeah, I come back after my lunch break and they come back in 4 hours.
Right, man. They be on some
That's
trash.
all cap. Super cap.
On some straight trash.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully this is the first time that they've done it like this, but hopefully they don't do the same thing with other bundles that they have in the future. Because Nintendo always has scalper issues, and I feel like
right,
that started in the Wii generation because they started doing limited prints of games for some reason.
right.
So the Metroid Prime 3 collection came out, and it's whatever the price of it was. But it's 3 games that people like, and it comes in a nice steel book with a bunch of extra stuff, and it's GameStop exclusive. So automatically, as soon as it come out, the price jump up to 60, 70, $80 because it's limited to GameStop only. Why would you put like something that people really really want exclusive there when you obviously you can take it to Walmart and Best Buy and people are still gonna buy it? And I think they did the same thing with Xenoblade. That's why that game was expensive for a long time, and they don't have to do it, but I feel like they cut in corners where you don't have to. If you put more copies out, more people buy it. Whereas if you put it limited, yeah, you get the money up front, but you're not gonna get those used copy sales, so you just hurting yourself by doing that.
Yeah, they done, bro. Y'all remember how much that it was 2 games. It was I think it's like Mario All Stars. It was basically like the it was that game with the turnips on it. You know, you pick up them turnips or whatever. With
Animal
fuck,
Crossing.
no, it's a Mario. It's like Mario All Stars. I forgot what the game called. It's like Mario. Is it Mario Land or I
Oh,
don't know. You it got turnips in there. You be throwing them, and you can play with Mario, Luigi, Peach, or Toad. I think.
mhm.
That had came out on the Wii, and it was like it was a Hello Kitty game on a Wii, and both of they wanted bandos for both of them games.
Wow.
Like it didn't matter where you go. I remember GameStop was offering like I think they was offering like $70 if you trade that game in, bro. Like the Hello Kitty game.
Hmm.
But if you go try to cop the Hello Kitty game, you go look on eBay, that mug like 120. I'm like I mean, who gonna pay for this game? But it was that limited print.
Yeah, I think they went crazy for the pre-orders on this game as well because it was limited print as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, Nintendo always gonna be Nintendo, and they got the games to kind of keep people invested, but they have to be literally the worst company, the worst gaming company I ever dealt with. But we deal with them because we need those games. I don't need all their games. I only need one, and that's that Zelda. Xenoblade too, but Zelda and Xenoblade really. I don't really have anything, no interest in any of their other people at this point. And it's not even that I wouldn't try them because I enjoy Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I just don't like the fact that they uptick all their prices to the same, like you said, Jalen, where everything is $60 when and they probably gonna turn the tide and do everything 70 when when everybody else switch. They're gonna be like, yeah, we 70 now. Like for what? What y'all do? Man, we just 70 now.
Like
Y'all
y'all
started
y'all
charging
updated
y'all
the
70
Switch
for
or
games they was charging people 60 for, bro.
you like, well, you understand, like PlayStation makes games and they're $70. I know we ain't switch our consoles and stuff like that, but you gotta understand, our products are more premium than PlayStation, so we really giving y'all a deal by making it $70 and not making it more. That's their logic.
Exactly.
We doing y'all a favor.
Yeah, but you gotta get ready for that 4K boy, the 4K Nintendo Switch. That's when it really started getting special. How do y'all feel
Nah,
about how do y'all feel about discless consoles? How do y'all feel
man, they
about
a
the
waste of
digitals?
money.
Yeah, me and Jay was talking about this the other day. It's not really worth it for the money that you save because you're getting a less functional product, number one. And
Hmm.
then two, it doesn't matter if you don't buy this, you don't have that option. And so whatever $100 that you're saving, you're gonna have to hopefully get that saving somewhere else. Because if you buy a used game, like I bought Spider-Man for what, $20, and um, you don't have that option for the digital game because you're waiting for a sale on the store. And some games just don't go on sale, like, and it's just not worth it to put yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
Man, you see the Dragon Ball Z fighters thing. I mean, if PlayStation doing a bad, I think I talked to y'all about this. If they doing a terrible job updating the interface, or not the interface, but the market. So mind you, Dragon Ball Fighters came out back at the end of 2017. They came out with what, 3 season passes now, each one about what, $20, $30.
Mm-hmm.
The game was $60 when it first came out. You can cop the Ultimate Edition for, I think that John say it's probably like either 100 or 120, but it ain't updated. All it is the first season pass with fighters or whatever. Or it's I forgot. I think it's the first. I think it's $90. It's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Basically, it ain't worth it. You literally better off copping the game used from GameStop, and then going to cop the 3 season passes on their own, or maybe they might even come out with something like the Ultimate Pass, and it gives you everything for like a cheaper rate or something like that. But it's like PlayStation. Basically, what I'm getting at is PlayStation prices are always like 98% of the time worse than if you was to just go cop it off of eBay, Amazon, go to GameStop, whatever you want to do. So you gonna be paying $60 full price for games. I mean, that's dumb, and you gonna lose $100 off top easy just because you know you wanted to cut off a functionality or whatever when you could have just copped the $500 boy and had versatility in what you do, and you could trade your games back in.
Yeah. Then that's really important to me. I think people are not realizing how important that is for the gaming community of the retrade and the trade values and repurposing, resale, and stuff like that. I don't think people are understanding the importance of that right now. So they see it's cheaper price, but honestly, if that was my last option, I still wouldn't want it. I would really just wait until I can get the non-digital edition. I would never get the digital edition. Right now, I have not seen Microsoft nor Sony, provide me enough security to make me feel like I'm going to be okay purchasing their games, and it's going to be okay for me to continue with them and like know that their store is going to be the cheaper part, because they're a monopoly in that point. Because Steam has competitors. They have COG. They have the Epic Store. You play, like, all these people that have their own launchers that want to get you to buy the games directly from them, so they have competition. Microsoft and it ain't gonna really necessarily have that much competition, and if it is, it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be as competitive as this is, because Steam, they usually have really deep sales, versus the other places they don't, and that's why they have to lower their prices, because Steam of what they're doing. So I don't see a Steam in the the console marketplace anytime soon. So what I'm doing is I would definitely hold off if you can, and to get a full-fledged console with a disc drive in order for you to play physical media.
Yeah, the only thing I say where somebody might save money is if you were to strictly get a PS5 for 2K and maybe Call of Duty or something, and then y'all game share, you know what I'm saying, and pay half price, and them the only 2 games you want for the year, you know what I'm saying, then you'll probably save some money. But if you plan on buying 2 games by itself, you better off just getting if each game $70. If you pay for two $70 games, you paying 400. It's $400, right?
Yes.
400 plus 140. That's 540. And now you can't get rid of the games you stuck with it. Now if you want to cop another game, I mean, you catching the L. Whereas if you buy the $500 boy, you can go pay, you know what I'm saying, buy the 2 games, but you can get rid of the games if you want to. And if you're gonna buy more games and stuff like that, eventually you're gonna see that money come back instead of just paying full price for everything.
Right.
Yeah. Even when it's times like Black Friday, where they have limited games that are like $20 or something like that, but they only got a limited amount. You can't take benefit of that because you only can use what they have on the store. So if a game is $40 on PSN and it's $20 at Best Buy, you only can buy it from PSN.
Exactly. It's like
and don't even get started on like you because you can buy used games from Amazon and stuff too, but those are never on sale. They're always full price.
always full price. Always $60. I'm like, bro, this game is $20 physical. Why is it still 60 digital? Because they don't get no back end. It's like ain't no point. So like I said, I wouldn't do it. At this point in time is not enough. Like the only saving grace I could say is if somebody just literally bought the Series S and then only used Game Pass and didn't buy any games. That would be my use case. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Because then you're only paying for 2 games a year. You're getting gold subscription. You're getting the free games that come with the package. You're getting, like, if you got a PC, you can play PC games. You're getting the Project X Cloud. And then you're getting every game that Microsoft ever comes out with day one for their studios. So I can see the point in the Series S. I see the PlayStation 5 digital edition as corporate greed, to be honest. I feel like it's just more so them trying to see if they can get away with locking people in, essentially. I don't see that being any type of benefit for the customer at all. I can see the Series S's use case, and I can see Xbox All Access being tokened as that because you're getting, for $25 a month, you're getting the console and Game Pass, and it's only $25 a month versus, everything that comes along with the PlayStation 5. And I just don't see the point in that one. I felt like that one was a stab at how can we get people to forget about disc. And I don't want to forget about disc because that's what gives me the opportunity to buy elsewhere. So Series S is a little bit different in my eyes just because of what Microsoft is doing on their end. But yeah, man, it's that's scary.
Even still, I would still recommend people to save up for the disc version of the system. Even the people buying the Xbox, like obviously, like at some point we probably gonna accidentally get an Xbox if we got games on there that we want to play. Even though the Series X is more expensive, it will probably be better for him in the long run if he plans to keep it. But if you just want to buy it, keep it for a couple months, play a couple games with us, then yeah, the Series S makes sense. But I feel like if this is gonna be your console in your home for a couple years, then just save that money because it's gonna be worth it in the long run.
Yeah. All right. But that is pretty much it for this episode of the House of Wolves podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to rate if you enjoyed the content. That's pretty much it from us. You can follow me on YouTube at BCD Universe, or as well as on Twitter at BCD Universe. I don't think you guys have any social media that you would like to shout out at all?
I mean, I guess we just do Twitter. Mine is JD Senpai.
JD Senpai. I didn't even know that.
I don't use Instagram, so if you want to follow me, it's jboy.11.
It is jboy.11. That's hilarious.
Jboy, man.
But all right, thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.